Hey there, friends. Welcome to day 5 of 31 Days of Samhain. So, obviously, as you can tell, I had a little time to record a few of these ahead, just so I'm not feeling so squished on time. But I wanted to take a little minute to talk about some herbs you might want to consider using for Samhain. So, again, I know this camera is going to be backwards for you guys. However, this is a really great book, Sacred Herbs of Samhain. Plants to Contact the Spirits of the Dead. Sometimes I don't read so well backwards. By Ellen Everett Hopman. I really like this lady. I follow her online. A lot of really good material. So I had done a class on this. I called it a class. It was kind of impromptu. I think it was last year. It might have been 2 years ago. I think it was last year though. Where we kind of went over some of the main topics in this book. Now, due to time, I will probably not have a chance to go ahead and do that whole entire class again, but I did want to share some of the notes that I had on that class last year. So again, this is going to relate to how you can use herbs at Samhain, whatever herb you pick out. I'm also going to give you a few suggestions for some herbs you may want to use. Something sticky on my book. Um, and I also want to kind of put it out there a little bit ahead of time. Um, Soon at the shop, we will be putting up our altar for the blessed dead. So if you would like, you're welcome to come in and write their name on a piece of paper and put it in the basket that we'll have there. You'll be welcome to spend some time. You're also welcome to put up a picture of your own ancestor on the altar space we're creating. However, please bring a copy. Um, just because if I can't get a hold of you, you may not get this picture back. So if you could like just shoot like a laser copy, that would be totally fine, and we will add it to our batch of Blessed Dead that I bring out every year. And yes, if you hear Monty Python, bring out your Blessed Dead, bring out you dead, it's going through my head too. Anyway, as of this point, it's not set up yet, but I want to put the bug in the back of your brain. So if you think of someone you want to have added to the altar space, please do. We welcome everybody. And if you are out of town or can't get in, please, of course, drop us a message on Facebook, or you can send it directly to me, Melina, Melina, at Pathways, with an S on the end, another S, T as in Tom, L as in Larry.com, and put in the comment section dead altar or altar of the dead, something like that, so I'll know what it is. And I will be happy to add your relative's name on your behalf. So the reason that we do this is we'll have this set up throughout the month of October, and then on Samhain proper, which is the 31st, we will read all of the names. We will read every name out loud. I usually do a Facebook Live, and I read every name you guys put in there. Last year, I think I had, I'm going to say it was something like 320 names. And yes, you can include pets and friends, and yes, all of that. So I wanted to tell you that before I jumped into this. Um, and in case you're tuning in for the first time and have somehow stumbled on us, my name is Melina. I'm the co-owner of Pathways New Age Books and Gifts, a metaphysical supply and event center located in St. Louis, Missouri. So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to give you guys the Cliff Notes version of this talk. So a little bit on herbs in general. Um, when you're growing and tending to herbs that you're going to, honestly, it could be for anything, but you want to deepen that relationship that you have with them. So you want to take some time to share the energy with the plant, just like you would with a person or a pet, to see what kind of comes back to you and see what the plant says to you. I there for a while had a really intense relationship with basil. um, I planted a lot, and I discovered that whenever I smelled it, it just made me happy. So in the back of my brain, I know that if I want to like raise my energy and be in a happier place, I smell basil, and it works for me. Um, One thing that I found when reading this book is that whenever plants grow from seed, you have those two first leaves, and then you have the two true leaves that come after it. Um, and I really liked what Ellen Everett Hopman said, if I can say that, is that we all come from the same energy, like all come from the earth, and then we morph into our true selves. And there was something about the way that she said that really spoke to me. Oh, and I forgot to mention, before you ask, we do have this book currently in stock. I ordered plenty. Um, and plants, just like fruits, when they have that, when they start to put out their seed or their flower, they have that scent, just like fruit does. The scent of the plant will change just a bit. And I also want to make a small note on being kind when cutting or harvesting your plants. Now, some people are going to think I'm crazy, and that's fine. However, if you've spent all of this time putting energy into this and creating this energetic relationship with a plant, you don't want to just come behind it and like hack off what you need. It's very disrespectful, and energetically, it's not good for you either because you've made this energetic connection with this plant. So a good way to do it is to hold it right above where you're going to cut it and kind of remind it to pull its energy back away from that spot before you cut it. And again, you'll think I'm crazy, and that's fine. You do you, I'll do me. Um, a thing that you might want to consider is, especially if you're growing anything, be sure to save the seeds. The seeds are possibility. Like think of it as potential. It's not yet realized, but it's all just right there. You can charge those seeds and bless them and use them as representations of things you'd like to accomplish in the future. And then, of course, go back and plant those seeds and put your energy again into the plant as you work on that next intention that you want to grow. Excuse me. Okay. So different ways that you can use your herbs. You can use them in meditation. You can preserve them. So like some people make like mint jelly and things out of the leaves. So you can use it to preserve an idea or an intention. Um, so also like if you think of the idea of herbs they used for embalming, like when the Egyptians would embalm their dead with the resins and the herbs and things like that, there was a direct intention related to that, that it would help them in the afterlife. So it would preserve them for that journey that they took after they dropped physical form and moved into those higher planes of existence. You can also use herbs as what's called strewing herbs, S-T-R-E-W. Um, so like back in the Middle Ages, people would take um, bits of herb and they would strew them across the floor to help, like, for one, keep out bugs, to repel plague, things like that. You can also strew herbs across like the threshold of your door, just like people do with salts, with the intention of protecting and blessing your space. Of course, you can always make teas out of them. You can make tinctures out of them. You can use them in food. You can use them as offerings. Again, we talked about how the other day how I had my little box that I was going to keep my mugwort in, which obviously I just recorded before this. Um, and you could also use them on candles, or you can use them. You know what kind of good witch am I if I don't have a candle nearby? Okay, pretend this is a candle. But like if it's sitting there, you can put a little ring of herbs around it. So you can do that as well. You could also use them in dumb suppers, which we're going to talk about in a couple of weeks, which is one of my personal favorite things to do. And herbs, of course, always make good things for giving gratitude. Next page of notes. Let's see. I wanted to touch base on a couple things that Ellen covers in her book, The Sacred Herbs of Samhain. These are some ideas that she had in there. I really like this idea with mandrake. Mandrake is said to protect against demonic possession. Everybody could use that, right? So to activate it, take it out and display it prominently in your home for 3 days. Then soak it in water overnight. And then take that water and sprinkle it on windowsills, again, thresholds. If you put it, like if you like flick it onto people, be careful because mandrake is poisonous. You know, you could, I've heard of people putting it on the bottom of their shoes so that wherever they walked, they were protected. You can anoint candles with it, all kinds of stuff. Another idea would be with basil, is to make a really strong tea, put some salt in it, and then use it as a ritual bath. You could also like asperge the tea around in your ritual area And you could also use it as a floor wash for protection and for prosperity. So those of you that may be asking yourself, what is a floor wash? So it's essentially your mop water, and you put the tea in there, and then you mop your floors with it. So it kind of spreads it around in your home. Let's see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, another thing you can do with herbs that I thought was really good is the idea of a spirit elemental offering. So we all know that the world right now, and the earth in particular, has a lot of us on it and is going through a rough time between the wildfires in California. We've had a lot of hurricanes. We've had straight line winds. It's been a little crazy this year. So you can also use herbs with the intention of giving energy back to Mother Earth, which, if you think about it, she provides so much for us. Why wouldn't we do that anyway, right? So you can always charge it with the idea of gratitude and giving back, and then you can find a place that's special to you and kind of strew those herbs out over that place. Or you could even like dig a little hole and bury the herbs and cover it back up as like it's going into Mother Earth. So she like is directly receiving that gratitude. So you can also do that. Um, a lot of people use herbs for their ancestor work, which we touched on just briefly a few minutes ago. Another thing that people don't always talk about is you can also use tobacco for that. You see a lot of tobacco in like the Santeria Voodoo traditions. However, maybe you had an uncle that smoked cigars or had pipe tobacco. So that would be a great offering that you could like put out in front of their photo or their representation in your altar. So it goes beyond just like herbs. You can use spices. You could use tobacco. There's a lot of things that you can use for that. Um, and I have in my notes here down by the dumb supper that we'll be talking about in a couple of weeks. I love this phrase: respect your ancestors, for you are the result of 1,000 loves. And I just thought that was beautiful. Respect your ancestors, for you are the result of 1,000 loves. So, anyway, I just want to give you an idea on, you might want to start thinking about what kind of herbs you will want to incorporate into this work as we go along. Don't think that you only have like right now to do it. You could do it at any time at all. But just wanted to give you a little background. And this information is coming out of the Sacred Herbs of Samhain. It is available in the shop. Somebody's going to ask me. It is $18.99, and we have plenty. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this brief talk on herbs and a very little cliff notes of the class I did that went along with that book. And by the way, it was a free class. We didn't charge for it. But I hope you enjoyed that. And of course, if you have questions, you can always hit us up on the Facebook page or call the shop. Anybody at all can help you. Here's my disclaimer: do not ingest any herbs you're not familiar with. Just don't. All right, guys, thanks again for joining me on the 31 Days of Samhain. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please share this with anyone you think may benefit or like this. It helps us as an independent business to get the word out. So again, thanks so much from us, and we'll hope you have a great day. Bye, guys.